Hello, my name is Abhishek and welcome to Flutter Crash Course. And in this Flutter Crash Course, we will be going through a basics of Flutter. Now, before jumping over into Flutter, the question is what is Flutter? Now, consider Flutter just as a framework. The framework that will give you all the options to create your own mobile app. But the specialty of Flutter is it is cross-platform. That is, you just have to write code once and the code will be auto-simulated over Android as well as iOS simultaneously. So here I have my emulator up and running. I have already made a video for setting up your Flutter as well as an Android emulator in your desktop. So without wasting that time in this video, I would recommend you to watch that video first. So here on my desktop, I can open my terminal and create a new Flutter project on my desktop. So here instead of admin, I can just move into desktop, clear it once, and on my desktop I can create a new Flutter project. So the command for creating a new Flutter project is flutter create. For this project, I shall be giving it a name of awesome Flutter. You can give it any sort of name, it's depending on you. So I can press enter and a new Flutter project shall be auto initialized on our desktop. So our Flutter project is completed. We can just get out of our terminal and under our project, so without messing up within them, we can move into the library folder and open this main.dart file. Now we can open the related project folder on our desktop, which is awesome Flutter. I also recommend you to create all of your Flutter projects on Visual Studio Code instead of Android Studio. There are more benefits of using Visual Studio Code that you can see on your screen rather than an Android Studio. Okay, we don't need this. You can move into your library and open this main.dart file. You can simply remove all of your comments. Cool. So once we have removed all the comments, you can press Ctrl and S to save your file. Let me explain to you what this file structure means. So first of all, you can see here a Dart tool which contains nothing but a configuration file for our build project sector. And after that, it will be containing an idea folder which will be containing all the libraries for Dart language and as well as a runtime environment for Kotlin. Now after this, you can see here will be an Android folder. Now this Android folder shall be covering all the aspects of all the Flutter elements that shall be running over our mobile application, and the same thing goes for iOS. Now this iOS shall be more important to you if you are running your Flutter project on an iOS, and under this Android it will be containing two folders for app and Gradle. Now the Gradle will be simply a build time environment for our Flutter project, and this app shall be containing all the files which will be including source, and the source shall be covering over a debug console, that is your debug sector, your main files which will be containing Java, Kotlin and the rest. Now this rest shall be containing all the icons that shall be important to you while changing the icon of your Flutter application. And if you see this Android manifest.xml file, it will be containing all your boilerplate code, and this code can be manipulated easily if you need to change the label of your Flutter project, else change the icon of your Flutter project and do many more things. But it won't matter for now about going deeper into this file, so we can close it for now and the entire Android thing. And the same thing goes for library. Now this library shall be containing all of our code files that we will be writing. Now here's the thing, we will be writing Flutter into Dart, and Dart is a programming language in which we are going to code our Flutter framework for our mobile application. Now I recommend you to watch this video for getting clear with Dart basics. Under our project folder, you can see here a file called public.yaml file. Now this is gonna be one of the most important file in your entire Flutter project sector. Now this file shall be helping us in initializing all the assets, and the assets shall be including for images, icons, sounds or any other animations, and similarly all the dependencies as well as developer dependencies for the Flutter application. Now this was all about the intro about your Flutter project sector. Cool, so we have our Flutter application running here. So we can do one thing, that is initialize the following boilerplate Flutter application onto our emulator, and if you are into a VS Code, you can simply press F5 to start debugging your application over your Android emulator. Now as we have run this application over first time, it may take 5 to 10 minutes for launching our application onto our Android emulator. So I will see you in 5 to 10 minutes where our application shall be auto initialized over our Android emulator. Okay, congratulations, we have our first boilerplate application running on our Android simulator. It is a great thing, isn't it? Many of you may have got an error about a multi-disk, that is an error about a Dalvik version of your Android emulator. So to fix up that, you can move into our Android folder, under application, under build.gradle file, you can scroll down and under the default configuration you can simply write here multi-desk enabled to be true. Now this shall enable the dynamic version of your Android emulator. So you can press Ctrl and S to save this file and simply exit off this file. So here we have our basic boilerplate application running on our Android emulator, and this application does nothing but on pressing this following button, the counter of the following integer is increasing, and it's a very easy thing for us to simulate it. But we are not about this following boilerplate application. We need to break the following boilerplate application into our own way. So first thing first, you can simply remove all the things that is happening here. So here, instead of having the class of my home page, I can remove this entire thing, and instead of this thing we can create a new home to our MaterialApp. Now it may look jargon to you, but let me write the code first and explain to you later, because I always think that you should write your code first no matter what the code gonna simulate onto your debug console. So here I can give a new class to my new screen, which is nothing but a home page. So here we can create a new home page. Now there are two main differences about creating a new screen. The new screen shall be including over a stateful widget as well as a stateless widget. Now here if you see the following application was built under a stateful widget. That is, if I press Ctrl and Z, you can see here the following my home page extends a stateful widget. Now the stateful widget is nothing but a state of a following widget, and a widget is nothing but an extension through which we can express all of our components for Flutter. Now let me explain to you. Now on pressing the following button, the counter of the following integer is increasing. That is, a state of the following integer is changing, and in the following way we can sort of that the following stateful widget is more recommended to the following increasing counter of the integer. And instead of the following stateful widget, if we simply put here a stateless widget, we won't getting the following method of set state. It might look jargon to you what is set state and all, but just remember one thing: if you need to change the state of your Flutter application, you need to use a stateful widget, else you are good to go with a stateless widget. Now here you may see that the following my app is extending a stateless widget instead of a stateful widget. It is here so because the following state of the following class is not changing. That is, the home shall be always be remaining the home of the my home page. It's not gonna be changing over a my home page, but all the components that are rendered under a my home page are changing. That is, they are dynamic under their state. So instead of having a stateless widget, we are here using a stateful widget. Now this was just a brief introduction over a stateful widget and a stateless widget. Now remember one thing: if you need to change the state of your application, that is, you need to have some components into your application that are going to be dynamic. That is, they are not gonna be same for a long occur of time. That is, they are going to be changing from time to time. You need to use a stateful widget. Else, if you have any application that is not changing, that is, they just have a constant state, you can use a stateless widget. So here I can simply remove the entire home page. Also change my home of the following MaterialApp. So here instead of that I can write here a home page, and here we are getting an error because we haven't defined our home page. So to do that we can write the entire boilerplate, which is class home page and extends and everything, but I won't recommend you that. Now according to this following snippet, we are able to instantiate all of our boilerplate code within some keys. So to instantiate a stateful widget, you can simply write an STL, and for this situation we will be needing just a stateful widget. So here I can just press enter and a new stateful widget will be auto initialized. So here I can give it a name for a home page. Cool. So error is gone. So you can format document once and press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that our application has gone black. Now no worries, it is not any vital error. It is just because here under our home page, under this build method, we are returning a container. Consider this mythology. You are building a house, and for building a house, the first thing you will be requiring is a map. It is a plot size about what things shall be fitted under what areas. Now consider the following map just as a MaterialApp. Now here, if you see, our void main method is simply running an app, and the app is simply instantiating my app. The my app is instantiating a stateless widget, and this stateless widget is reading a MaterialApp. Now this MaterialApp is nothing but a map for your home. Now after instantiating this MaterialApp is instantiating a home which have an argument for a home page. Now this home page is simply returning a stateful widget which is returning a container. But this is a wrong methodology. You cannot simply build a house over a map. The second thing after having a map is the infrastructure, and the outer infrastructure of an application is nothing but a scaffold. Now consider this trilogy. The most important thing for building an application into Flutter, MaterialApp, and the MaterialApp shall be having a child, that is its extension over a scaffold. Now the scaffold will be nothing but an outer infrastructure for a home, and the container shall be the child of your scaffold, that is a container shall be the bricks, sand, stones and all the other things that will be requiring for building a house. So here instead of returning a container, I can return a scaffold and press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that application is back, so you can format a document once. Now here's the thing, our home page is returning a stateful widget which is returning a scaffold. Now if you simply hover your scaffold, you can see all the parameters that scaffold shall be providing to you. Now the most important parameters are nothing but an app bar, body as well as a bottom navigation bar. So to start with, you can simply expand your scaffold, and under this scaffold you can write an app bar. Now the app bar shall be taking an option of an app bar itself. You can give braces to it, and after giving braces you can see all the options available under your app bar. So the first thing first, we can simply give a background color to app bar. So here I can write color dot red accent, and after giving a background color to your app bar, we can have a title. So under this title shall be containing a text. So here I can write a text. Now the text shall be taking just a string. So here I can give it a string for a home page, and after that you can also give a flag to your app bar for your title, which is a center tile. Now this center tile shall be a boolean. So here I can write a true. You can press Ctrl and S. Now you can see our application's app bar is generated here. So you can format your document once first. Now you may see here we are getting over a sticker over a debug, but we don't need that. So to remove that, you can move into our My App Stateless widget, and here you can simply change the flag of debug. So check mode banner to false, and after pressing Ctrl and S, you can see that flag is removed. You can format your document once and press Ctrl and S. So under our app bar, we have three of the most important parameters important to us. Now the second most important thing about a scaffold is a body. So coming out of this app bar, you can instantiate a new body. Now the body shall be taking any type of widget, but according to our trilogy, after a scaffold, the most important widget for us is a container. So here I can write a container, and after giving braces you can see all the options available. So without any further delay, we can simply have a child to our container. Now it is the best practice to have a column as a child to our container. So here we can have a column as a child to our container. Now the column will also be taking various parameters, but they are not that important to us now. So we can simply give a parameter of children to us. Now the children of column shall be just a list and a list of widgets. So under this column you can give any sort of widgets to this container. So I can simply write here a new widget for a text, and this text shall be hello, how are you, or any sort of thing. So you can press Ctrl and S. Now you can see our text is appeared here, which is quite ugly for now, but it's working and it's fine for us. So you can format document once here. Now you can manipulate your widgets according to you, and the most easy way for manipulating your widgets is simply moving over them, pressing right click and refactoring them into your favorite thing. So for now I will simply refactor my following column into a center and press Ctrl and S. Now we can see my text is simply aligned into a center because the following column is under the widget of a center, but we can also manipulate our column manually. So to do that, I can simply write a main axis alignment to my column. Now this main axis alignment shall be taking a main axis alignment and also give us various options. So for now I will simply write a center, and also we will have a cross axis alignment, and also this cross axis alignment shall be taking all the parameters according to the main axis alignment. So under this cross axis alignment I can have a center as well. Press Ctrl and S. Now you can see that our main axis alignment, that is a vertical alignment, is under a center, and similarly for the horizontal alignment, which is under a center as well. So you can format document once. Cool. So we have covered a most important section for our Flutter application, which is understanding trilogy between MaterialApp, Scaffold and a container. So the first thing is about a MaterialApp. Now the Material app is giving us these default options. You can simply remove this from here, but fine for now. The Material app also gives the option of a theme data. That is, you can set all the theme for our application through this theme data, and the following data shall be applied to our all overall widget into our Flutter application. So here if I write scaffold background color to be, let's say, color, that is color.black, press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that the entire color of our scaffold is changed into black, but we don't need that, so we can change it to white. Now the default color of our scaffold is nothing but a white one. You can also do one thing, that is change your app bar theme. So here I can write an app bar theme to be an app bar theme. Now this app bar theme shall be giving us all the options available to us. So the first thing is about color. So here if I write color to be colors, let's say light green accent, press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that the color hasn't changed here because we have already this color here for our background color. So if I simply remove this, now you may see the default color of our scaffold is covered as per this app bar theme under its theme data, but not according to this. I hope you have considered the theme data as the most important theme set up for our entire Flutter application. So you can press Ctrl and S, and the app bar is also changed according to this app bar, but not according to this parent app bar. So here I can simply remove these things. Also I can remove the entire theme data for now because we will be setting all the theme manually for now. So you can format document once and press Ctrl and S. So we have our Flutter application running here up and ready. Now the next most important thing into any sort of Android application or iOS application are buttons. That is all the buttons that manipulate your application according to you. Alright, so let's have a look over all the buttons available for Flutter into our Android application. So here if we check into our scaffold, we can have an explicit property over a floating action button. Now the floating action button is just a common button which is in a circular shape, which is a common thing, but you can give any sort of widget to a Flutter application floating action button. So to explain that, I can simply write here a floating action button. Now this floating action button will simply taking a widget. So here I can simply return a widget for a floating action button. Now this floating action button shall be requiring two main parameters, which is onPressed as well as child. So here I can have a child, and this child shall be just an icon. So here I can write an icon. Now if we hover over icon, it will take all the parameters that are shown here, and the most important one is the icon itself. So here I can write icons dot, and after pressing dot you will be seeing all the boilerplate icons that Flutter shall be providing to us. So for now we can see the base access for now, and the next property is about an onPress thing. Now you may see that the following floating action button has changed its color to yellow. That is, it is showing us a warning that one more parameter is required, which is nothing but an onPress. So here I can write onPress. Now this onPress shall be null for now, and you can format document once and press Ctrl and S. Now you may see a new button has occurred here. So let's manipulate this button into our own way. So here on pressing it, it shows nothing for now. So let's change into it. So to do that, you can give some braces here as well as a curly braces, and under this curly braces you can simply print a statement. So for now I will simply write button pressed. You can give a semicolon here and press Ctrl and S. So let's check our debug console, and under the debug console we can clear it off. So after pressing the following button, you can see a button press thing is appearing here. So I can press again and again, and the following statement will be printed the more time we will be pressing our button, but it's worthless for just printing this thing. So we can press Ctrl and S to save it. Now let's manipulate our Flutter application, that is this thing, into the boilerplate thing, and here instead of having this text I can simply write here, you have pressed this button these times, or any sort of thing. Press Ctrl and S, and after this text we will have another text for showing the integer, but to show the integer we need to initialize an empty integer first, that is a default integer. So here at the top of our build method we can have a new integer, let's say pressed, and under this text we can have a new text. So here I will write a new text. Now this text shall be auto implied over the pressed integer. So here I will write pressed, and if I hover over it you can see that integer can't pass into a string. So to do that we can convert the following thing into toString. You may see that we have our default value nothing. So here let's give a default value to our integer, which is 0. You can press Ctrl and S. Now you may see our 0 is appearing here, but it is in small size. So let's fix a text style for our text. So to do that you can come out of this text and have a new property to our text, which is nothing but a style. Now this style will be taking a text style, and under this text style you can have all the parameters. So we need just nothing but a font size. So here I will write a font size to be 26, and also let's change the color. So here I will write color of colors dot gray. It is a blue gray. Press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that the font has changed. So let's change it at a more level. So here I will write 36. Okay, it's enough for us. Now here, to change the following thing to a dynamic number, we need to assign some properties over our floating action button. We can do one thing, that is, instead of on pressing it, we can create a new method on pressing the following button, which is nothing but a set state. Now on this set state method, we can do one thing, that is increase the counter of this pressed thing, that is a pressed integer. So here I will write pressed plus plus. I can format my document once. Now let's try pressing this button. Now here you may see that the following number is going to be dynamic, that is, it is changing from time to time on pressing over it. That is, we have successfully created the boilerplate code that the Flutter shall be providing us at the top of our application. But you can also do one thing, that is, after coming out of this text, you can create a new button, which will be another button. So here I will write a new button for a material button. Now all the buttons shall be taking exact parameters to be required, which is on press as well as child. So here I will write child for a material icon button to be text, and here I will write decrease and also an on press method to it. Now under the on press method I can have the same thing, that is set state of the following press integer to be minus minus, that is it will be decreasing. You can format document once and also give some color to our material icon button. So here I will write color to be colors, let's say yellow accent. Press Ctrl and S. Now you may see a new button has occurred to us, so you can format document once. Now on pressing the following button again, you can see that it is going to a negative value, and on pressing this it is going to a positive value. That is, we are successfully now manipulating the states of the following integer, which is going to be dynamic. So you can format document once. For the next button, you can simply have another button to be a flat icon button or an icon button that will have a same property that the following floating action button as well as the material icon button have, which is on pressed as well as a child. Now let's jump on to the next step for our creating a Flutter application, which is navigation, that is navigating from one screen to another screen. So for that I can simply remove this child of this center and have a child, let's say a column as well, that is our priority is having a column to be child of a container. You can press Ctrl and S and also remove this entire thing. So we have removed everything from here. We can also do one thing, that is change the background color of our floating action button to colors.red as well. So we can format document once. Now this will be our initial screen, and from this screen, on pressing the following button, we need to find a way so that our Flutter application will manipulate the following code and also navigate us to the next screen. But the first thing is, for navigating to the next screen, we need to create a new screen. So let's do that. So we can do one thing, that is close this Android section first, and under this library we can create a new file. So I will create a new file, let's say beta.dart. Now you have to give this .dart extension while initializing new files. So under this beta.dart file, we can have a new stateful widget. Let's give it a class of beta as well, and also hovering over it, you can quick fix it by importing the material.dart library. And also, instead of retaining a container, we can have a scaffold as well as an app bar. Now this app bar shall be taking an app bar which will have a title to be a text. Now this text is nothing but a beta screen, that is a beta screen. Also we can have a center tile to be true and as well a background color. So here I will write color or colors.light blue accent. Now after having this app bar, we can also have a floating action button to this screen so that we will navigate it back to our home page. So here I will write floating action button to be a floating action button, and under this floating action button we can have an on press method to be null for now as well as a child. So here I will write a child from icons, let's say this thing which is wrap text. Also let's have a body to our scaffold. So here I will write body to be a container. Now this container will have a child to be a column having a children, that is null for now. Okay, so we have our basic screen setup here. We simply need to find a way so that our Flutter application will navigate us from home page to this beta page, which is a beta screen. So to do that, we need to assign some properties over our floating action button. So here on pressing it, it is simply setting a state, so we can remove this. And instead of this, we can have the navigator, which is auto provided by Flutter framework to us. So to navigate to the next screen, I will simply fetch a navigator, and after pressing dot to this navigator, you can see all the options available for the routing. So for this thing, I will simply use push replacement, and now this push replacement will take a context as a new route. Now the context shall be auto defined via this build method, and the build method is simply containing the build context of the following context. Now the following context shall be auto implied over the following context, and the next thing is about the new route. Okay, so under this route, I can have a material page route. Now this material page route will simply take a builder as a required parameter. You can have a semicolon here. So under this builder, we can have a context, and this context shall be auto implied to the next screen. And if we check our next screen, which is a beta page, so we can copy its name and paste it here. You may see an error, and if you hover over it, you can see the beta isn't defined for our home page. So we can quick fix it by auto importing the file. So here we can press Ctrl and S and format the document once. So this was all about for navigating to the next screen. So after pressing the following button, we are now navigating to the next screen, which is beta screen. Now we can apply the same thing over a beta screen as well. So here on pressing the following button, we can have a navigator dot push replacement, that is a push replacement having a context and a new route. So here I will add a material page route. It will take all the exact parameters that we have provided first, which is context and as well as a home page. Cool. So you can format document once, press Ctrl and S. So after pressing this button, we are now navigated to our home page and also to this beta screen and home page accordingly. Now this was all about for navigation. Now this is my quick tip for you. You can move into your pubstate.asset file, and here let me remove all the comments first. So you can press Ctrl and S. Now you can press Ctrl Shift P to bring the command palette. Now under this command palette, you can have this pubspec assist, and under this pubspec assist, you can have the paste transition library. So here I will write paste transition. So you can press Ctrl and S to download it from the pub.dev. Cool. So we have our paste transition up and running. So under our home page, instead of having this material page route, we can simply remove this, and under this route for our push replacement, we can have a new route. So here I will simply write paste transition. Now this paste transition will be taking a parameter of a child as a type. So here I will write a child to be a beta page and also a type. So here according to this type, it will take the parameter of paste transition type dot all the other options. Now you may see that the transition here will be occurring via a good transition, that is an animated transition. So here I will simply add a transition of left to right with fade. You can press Ctrl and S and format document once. Now here on pressing the following button, you may see a small sort of quick animation is occurring into our screen, which is from left to right. Now this was all about for the transition animated, that is an animated transition between your screens. Now you can have a same sort of thing in your beta page as well. Now this was all about for navigation. Now the next thing is about having data passing between your screens, that is passing a data from your home page to the next screen. So let's do that. Here under our children, we can have a new text. To be a new text, let's say, okay, so we have our widget here, so we can refactor into a column, that is a center, and it will be under center. So we can remove this rest for now, and here we can have a new string, let's say data. Now this data shall be just an apple, and here under here I can have this $sign data. Press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that the data to be passed is apple. So let's pass the following apple from their home page to this beta page. This is one of the most core concepts for passing your data between your screens. So to do that, you can just move into your beta screen. Now to send a data to the next screen shall be eligible for handling the data. So to do that, you can move into our beta.dart file. So to receive all the data under the beta screen from our main.dart file, which is from our home page, we need to create a placeholder for this beta screen. So at the top of our build screen, we can have a new string placeholder. This string shall be the placeholder for the data that shall be incoming from this main.dart file. So we can have a new constructor under this beta screen. So to create a new constructor, you can write the name of the screen, which is beta itself, and under this curly braces you can have this dot placeholder and you can have a semicolon here. Now you may change the following parameter to be required. So here I will add required. Now after having this parameter, the following placeholder shall be required for passing the data to the next screen, that is from transitioning from another screen to this screen. So you can press Ctrl and S here. So under our container we have nothing here, so we can simply refactor into a column, and under this column we can have a children to be a text. Now this text shall be the data that we shall be passing from the home page. So to do that we can write here widget dot placeholder. Now after pressing widget, all the variables that are initialized under the constructor of the following page shall be auto initialized. So now we have created a way for managing a placeholder for this beta screen. So we need to find a way so that our beta screen shall be eligible for approaching all the data. So under this page transition you can see a yellow line has appeared here, and if you hover over it you can see a parameter placeholder is required. Now this required parameter is auto initialized because of this tag is at required. So under this beta screen we can have argument of placeholder. Now this placeholder shall be taking the data that we are gonna be passing to the next screen. So here I can pass the data of the following data itself, which is nothing but apple. So I can press Ctrl and S for now. So we have our placeholder up and ready, and similarly our main.dart file sending data which is placeholder to be a data. So let's try sending this data to the next screen. So after pressing this thing, you can see a new data is appeared here, which is apple. Now in this way we have successfully passed the data from widgets to widgets, that is from home page to the beta screen. Now we can also do one thing, that is transfer this data to the initial page as well. Now the process is similar. You simply have to have a placeholder under the home screen as well. So here I will add placeholder to be a new data, and also create a new constructor. So here I will add constructor. Under this curly brackets I will write required to be this dot new data. Now you may see that after writing required, here we have our home page data required, but we don't have any data from the stateless widget. So we can simply remove this required, and here under this new data we can have a new text, and under this text we will have a new text. So here I can write widget dot new data, press Ctrl and S, but here's the thing, we will simply get an error that we have a null value occurring to us because we don't have any value for new data till now. So let's fix it up. So here I can have this transition, and now under this transition you can see it will be requiring a new string to be new data. So here I can write new data, and under this new data we can pass any sort of data. So let's say this data is from beta page. Cool, you can format document once, press Ctrl and S, and also on over this thing, if we check our debug console, it is showing one problem. So we can check up that, which is a function body must be provided. So we can have a semicolon here, which was just a minor error. So we can press Ctrl and S. So now on our home page we have no data for this new thing, but on pressing the following thing from the beta screen, you can see the following data is passed from beta page. That is, we have successfully passed the data from beta page to this home page. Now this was all about for passing the data between screen. Now congratulations, we have covered basics of Scaffold, container, MaterialApp, all the buttons, navigations, as well as passing the data between your screens. So now let's move on to the next thing, which is a splash screen. So we can have a splash screen from this beta page to this main.dart file. So let's have a splash screen first. So here we can simply navigate to this beta screen, and under this beta screen we can simply remove everything from here, and here I will simply have a body to be a container. Cool, so we can format document once. So we have our empty screen here. Now generally all the splash screens have nothing but just an icon as well as a title of the following application. So here under this container I will have a child to be a center, also a child to the center to be a column, and under this column we can have a main axis alignment to be a main axis alignment dot center, and similarly for the cross axis alignment to be a cross axis alignment dot center. Now under this children we can have a circle avatar. It is one of a widget that Flutter will provide you. Now this circle avatar will simply have a child. We can have a child to be icon. Let's say icons dot we can have anything. We will leave weekend for now. We can have a radius to our circle avatar, let's say 50. Press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that a new icon is appeared here. So we can also manipulate this icon under a background color. Let's say color. Cool. So we have our new icon here. Let's have a title as well to our application. So here I will write title to be text. Now this text shall be any sort of application. So here I will write a random app. Also have some styling to our text. So here I will write text style, and under this text style I will have a color of colors.gray as well as a font size. So here I will write a font size to be 30. Press Ctrl and S. So we need to find a way so that our launch of our application, the following screen shall be auto navigated to the next screen, which is nothing but our main.dart file. So here at the start of our beta page, we can have a new method for the initState method, which does a thing that it generally sets the states of the following screen at the start of our application. So to do that, we can have an initState method after writing init for the awesome Flutter snippets, and under the initState method we can have a timer function that will be auto imported from this Dart async library. So if you hover over it, you can see it will take a parameter of a duration. So let's give a duration to be let's say for seconds of 5 seconds, and after that it will take another parameter which is function. So under this function we can have a function for navigating to the next screen. After this function I will have a navigator dot push replacement. Now we can have a page route to be a page transition, which is an animated transition library, and under this thing I can have a home page. Also let's have a type. So here I will write page transition type from bottom to up. Press Ctrl and S. Now you can also change the following screen duration. So let's say 2 seconds. Cool. So here we have our home page rendering the following home page, that is this home page, but we need our beta page. So here I will write beta. Now this beta page is requiring this parameter, so we can remove this from here. Format document once, and also we have to change this thing. So here instead of this floating action button I can remove this. Okay, our errors are gone. Press Ctrl and S. So here we can reload our application once. Now you may see that we are now navigated to the next screen, but we are getting an error about a null string, and that is we have provided a null string here. So you can format document once. Okay, so let's press it again once. Now you may see that our splash screen is working, that the following thing will be auto navigated to the next screen. So let's have a new widget here, which is circular progress indicator, and here I will add a background color for colors.black thing. Let's reload our application one more time. Okay, so we have our splash screen here, and we are now auto navigated to the next screen, which is our home page. So this was all about our splash screen for now. The next thing is about all the assets that we need to declare into our main.dart file, that is any sort of file. So here on our home page we have nothing but a title to be a text. So let's have some images as well as all other things into our Flutter application. So under this pub/yaml file we need to have a route for all the icons as well as images that our Flutter application shall be containing. So to do that we can have a assets flag here, and under this thing we can have all of our assets. So here I will write images slash the name of the image, but unfortunately we don't have a folder. So let's create a new folder first for a new image folder. So here I will write images. Now this images shall be containing all the images for our Flutter application. So let's drag and drop some images into the Flutter application. So here I can just drag and drop this thing. Now here under my images thing we have a new image for the firebase.png. So let's build up this thing, which is one of my own video. So here I can have the same name of the firebase.png thing. So here I will write firebase.png. You can press Ctrl and S. So we can simply get out of our pub/yaml file. So under this column I can have a new widget for a size box. Now this size box shall be containing all the height. Let's say a height of 200 and similarly a width of a 200. Now we can have a child for an image. So to get away with image we can have here image dot asset, that is from our assets, and we can have the path to our asset which is images slash firebase.png. You can press Ctrl and S. Now you may see our image is occurring here. You can manipulate a height and width according to the size box. So let's have a height of 400 as well as width of 400. Now you may see our images occurred here. Now this is just a simple way for importing all the images. Now the same thing shall be going for all the fonts. So let me show you how you can import all the new fonts into our Flutter application. Alright, so you can simply move into our Flutter.yaml file, and below this Flutter flag you can have the flag for all of your fonts. So here I can cite simply fonts, and under these fonts we can have the family of our fonts. So here I will write family, and now I have a font on my desktop which is nothing but Sally. So here I can write a new family for the Sally font, and after this family I can have the font for this family which is Sally. So here I can give asset flag, and now this asset shall be containing for my pub.yaml file. Under our project folder I can create a new folder for all the fonts. So here I will write fonts. So let's drag and drop this font under this font folder. So we have our new font here. So let's give the following tag, that is the name of the following font, which is under fonts. Now we are getting an error here, but no worries. So here I will write fonts/sally.ttf. So in this way you can have all of your fonts in the Flutter application. So I can simply remove this thing and this thing. Now it may take a reload to our render application for auto initializing a new font into a Flutter application. So below the size box I can have a new text. Now this text shall be just an empty text. So we can have a new text. This is, let's say this is new text. Now to initialize a new font we can have a style to our font. So I can add a text style. Now this text style shall be taking the parameter of a font family. So under this font family I can write the parameter of the font name which I have given. So if we check this, we have our Sally font here. So here we can simply have this Sally thing here again once. We can also do one thing, that is change the color of colors dot red. Yeah, I love red. So you can press Ctrl and S. Now you may see that the same text is appeared here, but trust me, after reloading your entire application, this text shall be converted into your according to your font size. But we don't have that much time that for the entire reload, because it may take 5 to 10 minutes. Now this was all about for the particular crash course in Flutter. That is, I have explained you everything that a Flutter application that will be requiring, which is a basics of scaffold, container, MaterialApp, buttons, navigation, passing of data, a timer function for your splash screen, as well as how to import all the assets. Now these were all the boilerplate things that you will be requiring while creating a new Flutter project. So if this video have helped you, we can simply like this video, as well as comments all of your doubts that may be occurred while implementing all of your things. Now you can do me a favor, that is comment out if you need a new project over a new crash course for creating your Flutter project with a Firebase. I will be waiting for your comment, and if you need that I will simply make a new video. Also, if you are new to this channel or subscribe to my channel will be simply mind blowing. You can also check all of my other series over Flutter, which is building a Netflix clone with Flutter, as well as a Flutter with Firebase thing, and either combination will simply mind blowing. So I hope you will be checking all of my channel things about all my Flutter projects, about containing a Twitch clone, a Netflix clone, as well as a shopping application which is Grokit. So I will see you in the next one with another great video. Till then, have a good meal, be safe, goodbye.